In the quiet Togolese village of Kapalime, Kofi, an elderly man with weathered hands and a heart full of hope, was a familiar sight. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, he sat on the worn wooden porch of his modest mud brick home, his eyes fixed on the dusty path leading out of the village. 20 years ago, his daughter, Amma, had left for Accra, Ghana's bustling capital, chasing dreams of a better life. She had promised to return, but the years stretched on and the letters stopped coming. The villagers whispered about Kofi's stubborn vigil. "Old man, she's forgotten you," they'd say, shaking their heads. "The city swallows dreams and children alike." But Kofi paid them no mind. His heart clung to the memory of Amma's laughter, her bright eyes, and her promise under the ancient mango tree in their yard. "Papa, I'll come back for you." Each evening, he dusted off an old wooden stool, her favourite, and placed it beside him, as if she might walk up the path at any moment. The mango tree, gnarled and heavy with fruit, stood as a silent witness to his unwavering hope. One humid afternoon, as Kofi returned from tending his small yam farm, he froze. His heart sank at the sight before him. Two worn bags, Amma's old travel bags, sat on the sidewalk outside his home. A folded piece of paper was tucked into one of the straps. With trembling hands, Kofi picked it up and read the scrawled words. "Papa, I'm sorry, I'm coming home." The note was unsigned, but Kofi knew Amma's handwriting, even after all these years. His chest tightened with a mix of fear and hope. Why were her bags here? Where was she? He clutched the note and sat on the porch, the stool beside him empty, waiting for answers. The villagers noticed the bags and gathered, murmuring. "She's abandoned him again," one said. "Those city folk never return for good," another added. But Kofi ignored them, his eyes scanning the horizon. The note was proof she hadn't forgotten him. Days passed, and Kofi's hope wavered but never broke. He carried the note in his pocket, rereading it until the edges frayed. Then, one evening, as the sky burned orange and the crickets began their chorus, a figure appeared on the path. It was a woman, her steps slow and deliberate, her clothes worn but neat. She carried a small bundle, and her face was lined with the weight of years. Kofi stood, his heart pounding. The villagers, gathered as always to watch his vigil, fell silent. The woman stopped a few feet from the porch, her eyes meeting his. They were Amma's eyes, older now, but unmistakable. "Papa," she whispered, her voice breaking. Kofi's knees buckled, and he sank to the ground. Amma rushed forward, dropping her bundle, and knelt before him. "I'm sorry," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I chased dreams in Accra, money, success, but I lost myself. I never forgot you, Papa. I was just afraid I wasn't enough." Kofi reached out, his calloused hand cupping her face. "A father never forgets his child," he said, his voice thick with emotion. In that moment, the weight of 20 years, of silence, of waiting, of whispered doubts, melted away. The reunion stunned the village. Those who had mocked Kofi's hope now stood in awe of the bond between father and daughter. Amma explained how she had worked tirelessly in Accra, first as a market trader, then as a seamstress, building a small business. But the city's promise of wealth had come at a cost: loneliness, shame, and the fear of returning empty-handed. The note and bags had been her way of testing the waters, a hesitant step toward home. Kofi's small home became a beacon of hope in Kapalime. Villagers came bearing gifts, yams, smoked fish, woven mats, celebrating the return of one of their own. Kofi, ever generous, shared everything, but what he cherished most was Amma's presence. They sat together under the mango tree, talking late into the night, rebuilding the bond time had stretched, but never broken. Amma vowed never to leave again. She opened a small tailoring shop in the village, teaching the young women her craft. Kofi's porch, once a symbol of longing, became a place of laughter and storytelling, where the village gathered to share in the joy of a father reunited with his daughter. As months turned into years, Kofi's home buzzed with life. Amma's shop thrived, and the village children called Kofi Grandpa, climbing the mango tree as Amma once had. The pain of those 20 years faded, replaced by the warmth of family and community. One evening, as Kofi and Amma sat on the porch, the stool no longer empty, he looked at her and smiled. "You kept your promise," he said softly. Amma squeezed his hand. "And you never gave up on me." In Kapalime, the story of Kofi and Amma became a legend, a testament to the enduring power of a father's love and the promise of home. The mango tree stood tall, its roots deep in the soil, just like the bond that had brought them back together.